What is the state animal of Pennsylvania?
A bald eagle.
No.
Should be.
Let
me get a squirrel.
A squirrel.
A white-tailed deer.
Yes.
Oh, yeah? Hello and welcome back to the Croak and Crow podcast. I am Spencer Cartier.
And I am Hannah Callow-Hill Penn.
Hannah Callow-Hill Penn. And this here is Frank. And you might be looking at us and say, what are you guys wearing? Well, me and Frank, we just got back from a little trip. It's Wednesday. Let's start there.
Okay.
It's Wednesday, the start of our week.
Yes.
Which means a lot has happened since we last saw you.
Right.
The biggest thing is me and Frank took a trip to Lake Wallenpaupack. Ever heard of it?
I heard of it from The Office.
Hey, look! I'm king of the world! Woo! Woo!
Yeah, the Booze Cruise was on Lake Wallenpaupack. For those of you who don't know, Lake Wallenpaupack is... it's too much to say every time.
It is.
Lake W.
Dubs.
If you IYKYK.
Yeah.
That's if you know, you know. If you know, you know.
I knew.
IYKYK. IYKYK.
Okay.
It's a big lake in Pennsylvania, and it's popular because of how big it is. And there's obviously cabins.
Would you say we're southeast? Is it south central? No.
It's north, like
North
you're
central.
going
No,
towards
that's
like
kinda
2.5 hours, like in the directions of the Poconos.
Okay.
So it's like central north.
Okay.
North central.
Okay.
Isn't that a high school in Philadelphia?
I don't know.
North Central?
Central Bucks.
I don't know. Anyhow, we were there, outdoors, cabin living,
Oh.
lake life.
Lake's nice.
It was great there. And so, if you might not be able to tell, but this is a bear hat. Yikes. And there's bears.
I just broke the pen. There was bears?
I didn't see any, but I was told. It frightened me. I was out there. I didn't have my blicky on me. And so, but I've survived, and that's why I'm able to now wear the hat.
I'm never going to say listen again. So that was the last time. Well, everything else that happened before today was rough draft.
Oh.
This is now this podcast going forward for this week is the actual what we were.
This is our first podcast.
This is
ever,
our first podcast.
Everything else
Welcome.
was a prelude.
The black bears in Pennsylvania. That's because there's around 20,000 black bears in Pennsylvania.
That's what I hear. That's what they told me. They told me after I came up. I drove 2.5 hours for them to then say, "Oh, by the way, there are bears."
There are bears, but don't worry.
They're the small bears. They're not the grizzly bears that you find.
Grizzly bears.
Where does one find grizzly bears?
I don't know.
Canada?
Well, yeah. And then if they walk down, there's so many bears, and I would think that there'd be less bears today than there was in
Yeah, just like any animal, really.
Right. When I was born, there were only 4,000 bears in Pennsylvania when I was born.
Are they like
Protected?
Protected?
Yeah, they're somewhat protected, but they're also
So like the hunting number is small. Like only this many bears
hunt,
can be
but
slaughtered.
also because of coronavirus, 36. What can I say? 30 like
3,600.
Yeah, 3,600 less bears were killed in 2020 because people weren't out in the woods,
and that'll just multiply. Those 3,600 will have 3 cubs each.
So, the bears.
Shout out to the bears.
The bears.
But yeah, it was beautiful. The beautiful country. Nice to get away from the city life for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm always going to the beach or I'm going into the city and partying like it's 1999.
What was the name of that place? You go with kids, and it was like up there somewhere, I think, wasn't it?
You're talking about the Great Wolf Lodge.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Wolf.
the Great Wolf Lodge. That is a blast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like this summer I've been very outdoorsy. I went to Colorado.
You always are.
I know, but I wonder if I'm just trying to catch up from all the. I guess, but if you think about it, isn't outdoors the one thing you could have done last year?
No, everything was closed. All the parks.
Yeah, all the parks. And everything.
Yeah, the roads and
streets.
But
it's good to get back to the roots of nature.
Yes,
the beauty of nature. A lot of things that are beautiful in our day and age, it's man-made. Sometimes you just need to God's beauty, and that is nature. God's art.
Yeah, you can just like when they say like you don't need to go to Harvard to be educated. It just makes it easier though. It's the same thing. You don't have to go out into nature to experience God.
Yes,
it just makes it easier.
It makes it easier.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And it's. I definitely recommend the occasional trip to nature, for that reason. It's like, you know, in Harry Potter, the wands. Do you watch Harry Potter?
I don't like. I've watched.
Okay,
I've read it.
I'm gonna give you. I'm not like a Harry Potter fan or anything, but in the first collection of books, no. So the wand, you know, you always see them, boom, boom.
Yeah, magic wand.
And it's
Levioso.
Yeah, it's not so much that the wand's important. You can do the magic without the wand, but it like directs it. It makes it easier.
Oh,
so
deep. I like it.
And so going out in nature is the same thing. It's like sort of like it makes everything. It makes the distractions less. It makes the connection in prayer easier. You're not getting distracted by car horns and gunshots.
Right.
Well, I guess there's gunshots out there for the bears.
For the hunting.
Yeah.
You would think that bears was our word.
But it's not.
But it's not. And you would think that the bear was the state animal of Pennsylvania.
But
it's not.
I thought there was a bear on our crest. Am I thinking of California?
You're thinking of California.
I'm thinking of California.
Okay, so the one word Wednesday is Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania. So we got that. The
greatest state in the Northeast.
It's a big state. It's an easy to draw state.
Not really.
Rectangular.
I feel like you would think it was easy, and so therefore you draw a rectangle.
Yeah.
But it gets kind of weird on like the east side. Like I think like Colorado is probably the easiest.
So to go back to what we were saying, what is the state animal of Pennsylvania?
A bald eagle.
No.
Should be.
Let
me get a squirrel.
A squirrel.
A white-tailed deer.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Nice.
A white-tailed deer.
White-tailed deer. There's a lot of them.
Are you the one that saw or was it Preston that saw the deer?
The albino deer?
No. Well, we did have that beautiful blessing. No, he said in Colorado that he's like, these aren't our deer.
Yeah. When we were in Colorado, we saw these deer, but they were like fluffy. And their antlers even look a little fluffy.
Really?
Yeah, fluffy deer.
Fluffy deer. We have the white-tailed deer, and that is the
that makes sense,
you know? Animal. Yeah.
Because there's bears in Pennsylvania, but when was the last time we saw a bear?
When I was a child.
When was the last time we saw a deer?
Today. It walks across the screen. Yeah. We need that. I love deer. So we're going to talk about Pennsylvania.
We're all wearing our Pennsylvania stuff. What do you got on?
I have Philadelphia, even though that's the city, but
that's the only place in Pennsylvania that matters.
Yeah.
He's not wearing anything. He's wearing a Jefferson hat.
That's true.
In Philadelphia.
And there's lots of outdoor activities in.
We were just in Lake Wallenpaupack, so he has the Pennsylvania stories, which is more important. I have my bear hat, obviously, and my Temple Law shirt. So we're Pennsylvania'd out.
Right. And I am. Who am I? I'm Hannah Callow Hill Penn.
I'm gonna guess that person's related to William Penn.
Yeah, it's his wife. Second wife, who actually she became in charge after he died because he was 25 years older than her.
Oh.
And he died, and interestingly, he allowed her to take over. She had all his finances, all his power, and she did a lot of stuff. And as you know, Callow Hill Street, obviously it had to be somebody. And
just to go off of that, William Penn and all that, if anyone's wondering how Pennsylvania got its name, William Penn, who's, I don't know what you'd call him, founder of Pennsylvania? The face of whatever.
Yeah, the starter.
So Sylvania means woods, and not Pennsylvania is very woodsy.
Yes.
And so it's Penn's Woods.
Right. So Pennsylvania, just once aside, one little petty. You just said, "Oh, that's all that matters is Philadelphia." I was reading something about religions in Pennsylvania, and so it was just some article. But the guy actually talking said. It's in Pennsylvania. There's Philadelphia and Pittsburgh and Alabama in between.
Yeah, yeah. They call it Pennsyltucky.
That's another one.
But you can't tell that to people who live in the middle of Pennsylvania because it's mean.
I guess it's also mean to Kentucky. Right.
Well, what if it's not? Here's my thing.
Just like kind of rural. And
yeah, you know what? Like okay,
cool.
Do some people use it as a slur? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But the people who get offended, you're disrespecting Kentucky, the great state of Kentucky.
Yeah.
Who without them, would we have fried chicken?
Not that type.
Not that type.
Yeah, so William Penn was a Quaker. William Penn, so as for religion, Pennsylvania. So you said it's a great state and we live here and everybody who has is a fan of their state. That's one thing.
Shout out.
We're talking about it because we live here, so we know about it. And we're talking about religion because that's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Croak and crow. William Penn was a Quaker. Which is a super pacifist religion.
Yeah.
And he had very high hopes of the Native Americans and the English settlers living together in happiness and harmony.
I'm guessing that didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
Because I don't think we have a single reservation.
We don't have a single reservation. We don't even have Native Americans.
But we have a lot of names. I wonder if that was part of it.
Of course, yeah.
Like
we have a lot of names.
Susquehanna and
we have a lot of names.
Schuylkill and Wawa.
Oh yeah. Shawnee. What's down there by the airport? Anyway, we have a lot of names, and also over the years, thankfully, we try to bring back that history and education, and unfortunately, we can't do anything about what happened or bringing people back.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was his desire. And it didn't happen, but even though it didn't happen on a large scale, you still have people here. Say some nice little relationship that happened at that time, and then their child, it changes people.
Mm-hmm.
So there is still results of the Penn family.
Yes. Shout out William Penn.
Being tolerant and his hope for that. So anyway, do you know any of the anything about Pennsylvania? Pennsylvania you want to say?
Okay. It's beautiful. I think it's the greatest state. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm trying to think of actually more states. I don't know if it's the greatest state, but it's a great state. You have Philadelphia. Let's start there. You're wearing your Philadelphia hat. The birthplace of America, first of all. So much history. Yes. So much character.
That is why it's called the Keystone State. Because
I thought it was just geographically. It was right in the center of the colonies.
I don't know, but I guess there could be... No, I know what you're saying, and that might be true, but it could also be true for other states.
Yeah.
But the true definition of the term Keystone comes from its essential role in the founding of the United States.
Yeah. So it's the first capital and all that. But it's not even the capital of its own state anymore. Harrisburg. We don't like Harrisburg.
Well, that is not true.
I said it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, cut that out.
No, I'm not going to cut it out. I love you, Harrisburg. Enjoy. You know what? I'm happy to have the capital. What more do we need? It's kind of selfish if Philadelphia kept the capital.
You know what's weird? Harrisburg is spelled B-U-R-G. Yeah. And Pittsburgh is spelled B-U-R-G-H.
That is strange. So you have the city, which is great. One of the greatest cities in America. I would think. All right. It's definitely up there. On hustle and bustle. Yeah. And then you have all of the beautiful places. I travel into Pennsylvania a lot. I just went to Lake Wallenpaupack. You think you're just straight in the wilderness. It's not. You don't get those city feels. Like it's so close, 2.5 hours away. Just went to Ricketts Glen last week. I was in Northumberland. All these different places that are so Lancaster.
Yes.
We'll get to Lancaster in a second because there's more to talk about
Religious,
there.
Yeah.
But just this outdoor, beautiful hikes. Beautiful nature, and then you also have the hustle and bustle. It's like, and then more than that, I'm going to keep going further. You have the beach 2.5 hours away. Yeah, that's Jersey, so we're not going to talk about it. But you have, it's the Keystone State in that regard, where you can have everything. You can go snowboarding in the winter, surfing in the summer, and hiking all year round. And
we have maintained roads, even though people complain about potholes. They still get. Don't. Yes, we do. We have the interstate and maintained roads to get to these places, and we have federally funded state parks so that you have park rangers, you have first aid stations, you have search and rescue, you have tours. You can go tour the old coal mines. You can tour the what are the the mines, the crystal caves, whatever.
Yeah.
Not crystal
Yeah.
caves. Is that Florida? You know what I'm saying? There is a lot of money put into natural tourism.
Yes.
And we have great hospitals. You know, I'm very scared of everything. So I want to know, there's hospitals.
Yeah, we have CHOP, Children's Hospital of Pennsylvania. Or is it Philadelphia? Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. And people come from all around.
For all our hospitals.
We have
University
the
of
Ronald
Pennsylvania.
McDonald Fund.
Oh, the Ronald McDonald House was started here. You're right.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not like going to the outback of Australia where you're on your own.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so it's like...
So it's natural, but it's also, protected.
Yeah. Yeah.
Protected. Yes, you talked about Lancaster. So if we're going to talk about religion, so...
Yeah, we're talking about religion. Let's talk about Quakers for a second. You ever been to Quaker church?
I haven't.
Apparently there's no leader. When I say leader, I'm talking about priest, minister.
No one's leading. Yeah, the service. Right.
It's whoever feels
it's
the
communal.
need to speak, they speak.
Right.
But if you're wondering, Pennsylvania was very strict on liquor for a long time.
Yes.
And that is straight from the Quaker
Yes.
founding laws. And so that's why we can't have any liquor sold in anything
Puritanical.
but a state store. The times you can buy it are very strict.
Right.
Like religious holidays. And then now it's opening up where you can, buy some lighter beverages at local stores. But for a long time, that was, you needed to pay like $500,000 for a liquor license.
Yes, that's true. The list of U.S. states by religiosity.
Religiosity, is that a word?
Yeah.
I want to make shirts that say that.
Religiosity. Now, I cannot understand the list because it's not in order of this state's the most religious, this state's the most religious. And some of the states have the same number. So when you look up Pennsylvania, it's going to say number 27. But there's another state with 27. Is it
There is a tie for 27.
Is it a tie? Oh.
Yeah.
But why isn't it in order of, because it's not, what order is it in? It's not in alphabetical order.
It can't be a tie for 37.
27.
It can't be a tie because there's 3 27s, but there's also a 48.
Is it just a grading system?
I wonder.
I don't know, but I couldn't figure it out. But I wanted to look it up because...
Wait, okay, I have an idea.
Do you?
So
Because you graduated.
If I find a 28, then it might just be 27, 27, 27, then it jumps to 30. So yeah, I think it's just a tie because there's no 28. And so it's just, yeah, it's a tie.
Okay. So I wanted to see how it seemed like a very Christian state to me. Apparently it's not, it's more in the middle.
Yeah, it's more in the middle.
Or is it? That's not just Christian, right? That's religion.
Yeah, so
but of course
the ranking system goes believe in God with Christianity, consider religion important, pray daily, attend to weekly worship services. Now, I wonder if it is right in the middle because of the city, because I know central Pennsylvania is very religious.
That's what that's the article I was reading where the guy said, it's hard to gauge Pennsylvania because... And
that goes with politics as well.
Yeah. If you gauged it from central with the Amish,
mm-hmm.
it would be extremely because one of the questions is how often do people go to church? The Amish are in church for 8 hours every single Sunday.
Yeah.
But your numbers are going to be skewed from
from the cities. Because if you look at all the smaller one or the lower ranking, number 1 Mississippi, number 2 I can't find number 2, but number 3 is Tennessee. It's a lot of these places that are 1 southern and 2 don't really have big cities.
Right.
Like, California is 35 big cities there. I wonder what New York is, 43.
Right.
And it's like, I imagine upstate New York is very religious. But
right.
You go to the city and you start just...
Well, also down...
Sodom and Gomorrah.
They say down south that religion takes on more of a cultural...
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we always say church is and should be a community thing. Mm-hmm. And it's like, in a way, spirituality and religion, the word is something within. It's a connection between you and God.
Mm-hmm.
But then church is a sense of community, which is great. It's where you can be charitable. It's where you can connect with others with similar viewpoints. And different places respect that differently. The South, big sense of community.
Right.
That's like where your grandmother's going to speak with all the other women.
Right.
You bring the whole family.
Yeah.
It's like Italians with their Sunday dinner. The South has their Sunday services.
Absolutely. And it'd be more frowned upon. But interesting, you'll see if I wrote in the margins in my pen that just because the state is religious or isn't, according to the list.
Yes.
I also looked up hate groups.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania does
not mark well on that.
Like 37 hate, whatever it's called, certified hate groups.
Yeah.
But then you have places like New England, which is New Hampshire, Vermont, which they didn't really rate very high on religiosity. They don't say that they truly believe God exists or they truly go to church. Very low hate groups.
Yeah. No.
So is it just like the passion runs high on both sides, or?
Yeah, it's a good question. Question I don't have, but yeah, Pennsylvania. I know they have something with the KKK, don't they?
They have 30.
Like, I'm saying like something about like the origin and stuff.
Oh, I don't even know.
Or like a important leader lives here.
I would think that would be down south.
There's something. There's like a leader or something. Anyway, don't let that reflect on the state as a whole, because I'm going to say 99% of the state does not subscribe with that.
No, not at all. I think it would have more. I think it would say more about just the state being lenient and allowing. I'm sure when you're looking to organize something, you would go to a place where you can. So there is a lot of freedom in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. There's also a lot of open space.
There's a lot of open space. But I mean, there is too. I mean, in the other places where there isn't any.
I'm trying to give us the benefit of the doubt.
Well, what I'm saying is, it's just another example of. You know what it's an example of?
What's an example of?
You had a Christian meme review, and you said that you could date a non-believer.
I did.
And people believe that, no, you cannot date a non-believer.
Yes.
To me, it's like this. You might be dating a believer. Yeah. But you don't know it's really what that person is thinking or feeling. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it could be a facade. So I'm comparing it to this, which is you might live in the most religious state.
Oh, and it's like
you don't know. Yeah. What is going on?
Yeah, you have extremists fall under the category of religious.
Right. So if your state seems less religious from that list, maybe the people are really good, nice people, but they're just not showing up, to church and being counted. Yes. So you just never know.
You never know.
But that's Christian. That's religion. But
that's religion in PA.
And the Pennsylvania is Christian, majority Christian, Protestant and Catholic. But we also are in the 10 highest states with the 10 states with the highest Jewish population. We're number 10.
Is number 1 New York?
Number 1 is New York.
I drove through that town. Like last year, I guess I'm not that
in New York or Philadelphia, because there's one in Philadelphia.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Well, in New York, there's a.
You're talking about the Orthodox one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's New York. Yeah.
Oh, it was when I was driving as a medical courier. Yeah. And I'm just driving through New York. I was actually stopping for pizza because I'm like, while I'm here, I might as well get some pizza. And I drive through this town, and I'm like, okay, did I just teleport? Is this like Doctor Who? What is going on? And it's because the entire town is Orthodox Jewish. Like every single house. Every single person walking on the block. It's almost like Lancaster. Actually, no, Lancaster with the Amish, they're still more spread apart.
They are.
It was like...
They are.
It was a quite awesome experience, actually. I'm like, this is so cool. Okay, so what am I reading?
I was just showing you that...
we're number 10, though.
We're number 10, but I mean, that's United States. That means the other states... And see how low the percentage is? Yeah. So... That's just, we did make the list for Jewish, and also
we made the list.
We made the list for Muslim, also number 10. What's the number 1 state for Muslim?
Illinois. Chicago.
So, yeah. I knew Michigan. I know Michigan's very big for Muslims. Yeah. So we have all sorts of religions.
Open to it all.
The
nice thing about the Quakers, not that William Penn, everything that he did has to do with now, but very tolerant and very open. Yes. Like I want to say, I don't know many forms of Christianity, but I want to say, probably on the side of the most. Like I feel like they're just known for being the most accepting and tolerant of other people. Yes. Not saying other sects, SECTS. I can never say that word. aren't, but
Right.
it's just sort of like in their core values throughout time, even in times when it wasn't the popular thing to be like, well, no, everything's okay.
What can I say? I do have what time? I have a long thing to read.
A poem?
If you don't mind.
No, it's fine.
Okay. So we talked about Native Americans in Pennsylvania. Obviously, extreme influence that
the extremist
that was had on Pennsylvania. We have still have so much history words, and you can do a lot of, even though we don't have Native Americans here. Mm-hmm. On the whole, we do have a lot of things you can visit, and where it's reenacted, and you can see. Anyway, Tecumseh was a Native American important chief, and you could look him up. He has a long history with Pennsylvania and the surrounding area and the relations and so forth. He's an important person. But anyway, I just liked this when I came across it, and it was Shawnee, Shawnee Mountain.
Yeah.
He was a Shawnee chief, and this was his philosophy of living and dying. If I may be so bold.
Absolutely. The stage is yours.
Okay. So this is what he wrote. So live your life that the fear of death can never enter your heart. Trouble no one about their religion. Respect others in their view and demand that they respect yours. Love your life, perfect your life. Beautify all things in your life. Seek to make your life long and its purpose in the service of your people. Prepare a noble death song for the day when you go over the great divide. Always give a word or a sign of salute when meeting or passing a friend, even a stranger, when in a lonely place. Show respect to all people and grovel to none. When you arise in the morning, give thanks for the food and for the joy of living. If you see no reason for giving thanks, the fault lies only in yourself. Abuse no one and no thing, for abuse turns the wise ones to fools and robs the spirit of its vision. When it comes your time to die, be not like those whose hearts are filled with the fear of death, so that when their time comes, they weep and pray for a little more time to live their lives over again in a different way. Sing your death song and die like a hero going home. Thank you, Tecumseh.
What a guy. He sounds like he'd fit in well on Croak and Crow.
Yeah.
You should get him as a guest.
Well, we'll have to make a sweat lodge and get
some ayahuasca.
The pipes. And
No, I liked everything you said there.
Yeah.
Not a single thing did I not like there.
Yeah.
And he was Native American, you said?
Native American. He was a Shawnee.
Oh, he was a Shawnee. I thought his name was Shawnee.
Tecumseh.
Shawnee.
No.
What does that mean, Chief?
Like your Philadelphian Spencer. He was Shawnee Tecumseh.
Gotcha.
It was his name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Big ups to Takuni.
Yeah. Tecumseh. I'll put it in the description for sure because
I'll it up.
Because I haven't seen it, and who can disagree with that?
I think everything he just spat was facts.
Yes.
But yeah. Check him out. Check Pennsylvania out. You know what? Visit Pennsylvania. You can stay in my shed. There's so much. There's something for everyone. If you're a city person, we have two great cities. If you're an outdoors person, Central PA is, I'm going to argue, one of the most beautiful places to hike and also just enjoy.
Yes,
Like in weeks past, I was hiking. This past week at the lake, it was just sort of relaxing.
Right.
And so it has a little bit of everything and open to all religions.
Good food. We have good food. Agriculture. And we have fresh meat and
fresh meat. And yeah, we're close enough to the water as fresh seafood. And it's a great place, great history. So check it out. And this episode was sponsored by the state of Pennsylvania.
Yes.
They paid us to ramble on
Governor
and on.
Tom Wolf. Even our governor has an animal name.
Yeah. They paid us to ramble on about how great it is. Just kidding. It's the Holy Spirit. But we'll be back tomorrow. The walkthrough Thursday.
We will.
Until then, come to Pennsylvania. Live studio audience. That'd be pretty cool. Would it? I'd get so nervous.
I was thinking for our anniversary, which is in October, if we plan, if we start telling people ahead of time, we'll have a meetup and we'll do our anniversary show will be a live show.
Live show anniversary. You heard it here first, guys. Peace. Go to PA. PA East.